What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Injustice 2 Reverse Flash. And so here we have the Injustice 2 Reverse Flash pose and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's run through his accessories. Reverse Flash does come with 3 lightning accessories. We do get one that can attach to his arm. We do get one that you can attach generally anywhere. And he does come with a lightning ball effect piece, which looks really nice. He also does come with your standard McFarlane display base. Other than that, Reverse Flash doesn't come with any other accessories. So with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at Eobard Thawne. So here we have a closer look at the Reverse Flash, and I think McFarlane has done a really good job in terms of sculpt. I say in terms of sculpt because there are some inconsistencies with this figure versus his in-game character, which we will talk about as we go along. As far as the face of this figure goes, really good job making this look like Reverse Flash from the Injustice game. It does a very good job with the sculpt work, the mask, the silver trimming right here on his cowl along with the chin strap right there. Looks really good, and I really love the face that they went with. You can see he still has the red lightning bolts on his ear as well as the lightning bolts on his head. Those look very good. I absolutely love the sculpt work on here. I do like the more armored look for his cowl. It really does make sense that speedsters have helmets rather than cowls. But yeah, it does look really nice, and the sculpt work on it is pretty good. You can see some really good panel lining in there. So it's really solid in terms of sculpt. As far as the rest of the figure goes, absolutely love the sculpt work that McFarlane has done here. They did a very good job sculpting all these panel lines that you see on Reverse Flash, and they did a good job painting them. For the most part, I'll say that because on the front of the figure it looks really nice. You can see the red is on just about every single panel line you can see in the front, which I really do like that small little detail. However, when you take a look at the back of the figure, yeah, something is missing, and I did go back to check the in-game version of Reverse Flash. He should have panel lines painted red everywhere. Every panel line that you see right here, the pipeline, it should be red. I have no idea why they did that. It's obvious that they cheaped out on the paint for this figure. Despite making it look really nice here in the front, the back of the figure is quite an eyesore, and it is painfully obvious that something is lacking on this figure. Paint seems to be the issue I have with this particular version of Reverse Flash. Now, these lightning bolts that you see right here on his shoulder pads, those sculpted nicely. These should be red. I went back and checked the in-game model. He has red lightning bolts right here on his shoulders, and it should be that way on both sides. The neck piece is properly silver, as it should be. These little honeycomb patterns that you see right here on his chest and then right here on his abdomen, these should be a darker shade of yellow. They're still yellow, but they shouldn't be the same shade as the rest of his costume. They should actually be like a more darkened, almost black in terms of paint. But yeah, every honeycomb pattern that you see should have that dark pattern, and you can see right here they just went with the exact same color, which is a little bit unfortunate that it is not accurate to the in-game model. His wrist guards are proper, although they should have like a slight red trim at the edge. Because it is just the edge and they were silver for the most part, I'm willing to let that go because it's a small little detail. I do like the reuse from Flash, the Injustice Flash. They do reuse the exact same hands, which is a smart way to save some cost, although I really would have preferred it if he had like flat running hands, or if he just had 2 grasping hands. That would have also been really good. So going back on the paint, another issue I have with this Reverse Flash is, though they did paint the red, this part of his costume, it's not red at all. Going by in-game references, this piece right here, all of it, with the exception of the panel lining and pipework that's on here, it should be silver. In fact, he should have silver going down his leg entirely. So yeah, it is quite noticeable that this figure is very yellow, even though he should have some differences in terms of color. And it is a little bit jarring just seeing red where this should be silver, and it boggles the mind why they didn't do that. His gauntlets are silver, his shoulder pads are silver, his neck piece is silver, the inside of his emblem is silver. Why didn't they paint this silver? It's very, very odd. And again, it's nicely sculpted, but why is it red? It should be silver. And again, we should have some silver right here in between these parts of his boots. There should be some silver and some red on his foot as well. Another thing is this piece right here. This is almost lightning bolt right here on his back. That should also be silver, but again, it's not painted. So very, very disappointed that we don't have an accurate color scheme to the Flash. And you can't give the excuse that this is a different skin for Reverse Flash because you can change the gear. You couldn't change the look of Reverse Flash in the game, so it does kind of upset me that they didn't go the extra mile and make Reverse Flash as accurate as possible. I do like the fact that he does have the lightning bolts on his feet, although these ones aren't painted. Again, why is he missing this much paint? It's so confusing that McFarlane has done an amazing job painting the front of the figure. But the back of the figure, no red paint, no silver paint, too much red paint, not enough silver paint. This figure could have been so great, and if you customize your figures, you can make them look a little more accurate to the game. Unfortunately for me, I don't have the time to customize figures like I used to, so unfortunately he's probably going to stay as he is. He still has a nice sculpt, but paint is very lacking. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have Reverse Flash compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Reverse Flash posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Reverse Flash posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have the Reverse Flash posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have the Injustice 2 Reverse Flash posed next to the Rebirth Reverse Flash. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at his articulation now. Reverse Flash does have a double ball joint in the head, which does allow him to look up and down quite significantly. He can tilt his head side to side as well as rotate left and right. Do be careful with his ear wings right here. They are softer plastic, so they do move as you need them to, but you don't want to put too much pressure because you might accidentally fold them, bend them, or even break them off, so do be careful with that. Again, his head does turn left and right. His arms are on ball joints, so they do pivot back and forward, up and down. Although we don't get too much downward movement, you can see we do get some up and some slight down, more forward and back, but it's still really nice. It does go all the way around, no problem. Out to the side, shoulder pads get out of the way. Bicep swivel works perfectly fine. Double bend here at the elbow. Works really, really nice. And you can see on mine, for some reason, this arm seems like it's stretched out a little bit. Actually, his entire arm seems like it's stretched out, huh? That's kind of interesting because the peg isn't in the middle. It's actually like the plastic stretching itself. I might have to heat his arm up and try to fix that, but yeah, that's really strange. He does have a ball hinge here at the wrist, so that does pivot in and out as well as rotates, and then it rotates on that pin. I want to say he has a double ball joint here at the torso, the only reason being that he does lean back a substantial amount. He can pivot forward, which that's not something that you can do on a single ball joint, but yeah, the torso does pivot forward and back, swing side to side, and it crunches to about right there. It does tilt, and again, it moves really nicely. It has to be a double ball joint. If not, it's a very, very good single ball joint. Lower torso is just your standard ball joint, which it does move forward and back, side to side, as well as rotate. Legs do kick forward pretty far. You'd expect that out of a speedster. Kicks back to about right there. Out to the side, no problem. He can do the split really well. He does have some slight thigh rotation up high. We have a double bend here at the knee. Good for running poses. I do like that. We have your old style McFarlane ball joint, so it does pivot rotate side to side. He does move forward and back. Forward facing pin for rocker ankle, and then of course we do have that very generous toe hinge. So overall, Reverse Flash has some really good articulation. I just kind of wish that the paint work was a little bit better on him, and that joint is actually stuck. I'll have to try to get that loose. But yeah, Reverse Flash is looking really nice. I just kind of wish he was a little more accurate to his in-game model. So with that out of the way, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the McFarlane DC Multiverse Injustice 2 Reverse Flash pose for my final thoughts, and overall, he is a really nice looking figure, don't get me wrong. Despite the fact that he's not 100% in-game accurate, I still like the sculpt work that they did on him. It's very detailed, very nice to look at, especially the areas that you can see the different textures. I think the honeycomb pattern looks really nice. A little bit of paint would have gone a long way with this figure if they had made him just a little bit more in-game accurate and actually added in some different shades of yellow like we see in-game. I think this would be a much better figure. I would be okay with the side being all red if they included some different yellows, but he kind of does look a little bit odd just with yellow and red panels everywhere. And then the back of the figure looks terrible by McFarlane not painting the back of this figure. Now, Reverse Flash here is going to run you about $20 depending on where you pick him up. I have seen a lot of people saying that he's more prevalent at GameStop than any other retailer, which I can see that. Injustice is a video game and they want to market this figure toward gamers, but if you are looking for Reverse Flash, he is available on sites like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth, or even Amazon. I did pick up my Reverse Flash from Big Bad Toy Store, and even though I'm a little bit disappointed by this figure, I still like the way he came out. Reverse Flash is still available at the time I'm making this video, so if you really want the character, definitely pick him up. Or if you want to hold out for a better Reverse Flash, the Rebirth Reverse Flash is just as good as this one. If anything, looks a little bit better. At least in my honest opinion. If you want to pick up Reverse Flash, be my guest. It's your $20. You spend it as you please. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.